Hey everyone, today I'm going to be sharing how I keep my makeup brushes healthy and lasting a long time. I personally love Sigma brushes. That's my favorite brand. They have the widest variety and they're also really high quality. I've had my first Sigma set of brushes for almost 7 or 8 years now, which is crazy. Back when I first started my blog, I got the complete set. I think it came with 12 brushes or something, but I'll be sure to link that exact set that I got back down below. I've had it for so long that my brushes have the old numbering on them that they used to have when they switched it over recently. They have different numbers now, but I've just had them so long and they're still going strong and in really good shape. Shockingly, I've actually never had a Sigma makeup brush actually break before. This is another brand, and this is what happens sometimes. This brush is broken. I don't even know what brand this is. Something cheap probably. But I've had other brands break like this all the time. Super annoying, but knock on wood, I've never had that happen with Sigma brushes to my knowledge, and so that's really good, and they also don't fall apart. I've had cheaper brushes also start to shed and the hairs just fall out all over the place, and then you can't even hardly use it because the brush is not the same anymore. So I have lots of tips and tricks that I like to do when I wash and also when I dry my brushes that I wanted to share with you guys on how to take care of them and keep them long lasting like this, because let's face it, they are very expensive, but just look at it as an investment. It's going to last you a really long time as long as you take care of them. They're totally worth it. I cannot tell you anything else that is more worth the money when it comes to makeup than having good makeup brushes. It changes your entire look because you're able to do so much more, and they also are going to last a long time, so it's totally worth the money. If you're going to buy one expensive thing when it comes to makeup, that's definitely brushes. Of course, there's other more affordable options out there now especially, but Sigma I still hold near and dear to my heart and still my all-time favorite. So let's go ahead and get started with how I wash and dry my brushes. So I'm going to be using the Sigma Spa Glove. This is the original model to wash my brushes, and just some baby shampoo. I love baby shampoo for washing my brushes because it's so gentle and it also helps condition them some at the same time. All I do is I just wet my brush under the water and then pour a little bit of the baby shampoo and then just rub it all over the textured part. You can use any texture part that you want. This is the face side to the brush, and then to rinse it out, all I do is pinch it while also rinsing it underneath the water while the water is running over the rinse part of the brush glove, so that helps to rinse it out a little bit better and get those soap suds out. The secret though to not damaging your brushes when you're washing it is just being very gentle. When you pinch it, you don't want to pinch and pull, and you also don't want to totally immerse them underneath the water. So brushes get really damaged when the water gets down into the ferrule, which is the metal part. So it's essential when you're washing them to keep that part as dry as possible and not be too rough. So just being very gentle. Always move the brush in the direction that the brush hair goes. If they are a flatter brush, you want to go back and forth. If it's more of a round brush, you want to go in circular motions. So if you notice, I'm not directly placing the brush underneath the water. I'm just kind of getting it wet with the little strain of water that is flowing down over the brush glove, and that's going to allow me to control how much water is getting on that brush. I feel like the Sigma Spa Glove has definitely helped preserve the quality of my brushes and just keep them a lot healthier. When I was washing them with just my regular hands, they weren't getting as clean, which led to me being a lot rougher with them, and this just helps keep my hands away from the water, which is nice too, to not ruin my nails and my self tanner, which is awesome. But it also just cuts the washing time in half because it just makes it so much easier. After I finish washing the brushes, I lay them out on a towel, and then I just like to kind of go over them to remove the excess water. And again, I'm going in the direction of the brush shape, back and forth for paddle brushes and around in a circle for round brushes, and this is just going to help remove some of that excess water. So now on to how I dry them. This is the new Sigma Dry and Shape Tower. This actually comes apart, so you can buy more attachments for it and stack it up even taller depending on how many brushes that you have. But this little device is so amazing. This is innovation in makeup. I love it so much. So it has these little loops at the bottom that hold the brush, so when you slip it up through, that actually helps to shape the brush, and it also holds them upside down, which is so important. You don't want to leave your brushes laying out flat to dry because the water could then seep up into the ferrule, so you want to keep them upside down, and this is the best way to do that to where they're not falling everywhere. And it holds so many brushes too. I washed a ton of brushes and it didn't even fill up this whole thing. There's different sizes for larger brushes and even smaller ones. I have other brands that fit just fine in here. You can also just snap them in the little holders if you don't want to use the shaping part, and they'll just sit on top, which works too. Same goes for the eye brushes. There's even smaller loops at the top that you can just snap all your eye brushes into. I was kind of worried about this tower not letting them dry as fast with them being in those little loops at the bottom, but I actually noticed that they dried a lot faster. I think that the material is made out of something breathable so the air can still get to them, but I was shocked at how fast they dried, and it dried a lot faster than just laying them out to dry. So that's it for how I wash and dry my brushes. I do have other videos on this where I've done different methods and stuff, so I'll be sure to link that down below. I have videos where I didn't use any of the spa glove or the dry and shape stuff and all that kind of stuff, but these products I feel like have definitely changed the game when it comes to washing my brushes. I don't dread it as much as I used to. It's become not as much of a pain to do, and I'm more likely to do it more frequently. It also makes it fun and it makes it a lot easier, so it pretty much cuts the wash and dry time in half for me, which is totally worth it. I do have a discount code for Sigma. I will include it down below if you want to check that out, to where you can get a discount. I believe it's like 10% off or something like that. So I'll have all these products that I mentioned listed on the blog post that goes with this video, which will be linked in the description box below if you want to check that out. I'll have photos and stuff of the products that I use and also link you to some of my favorite brush sets. I've also done videos where I talk about like my most essential makeup brushes and my favorite makeup brushes and what they're used for, that sort of thing. So anything brush related, I'll be sure to put it down below for you all. So that's it for today's video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye everyone. Hey everyone, it's Gina from Glam-me-up 8. Today I'm going to show you how you can take your hair from naturally curly to really smooth and straight without the heat damage. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using